Mishnah Berurah of the laws of Pesach, ch.429, that one should not fall on his face in supplication during the entire month of Nisan. Gloss: it is the practice to purchase wheat to distribute among the poor for their Pesach needs. Whoever has resided in the town for a period of 12 months must contribute to this. This is an early practice which has been followed since the times of the Gemara. The practice is brought in the Talmud Yerushalmi in the first chapter of Bava Batra. The town's inhabitants are able to compel one another to contribute for this matter. Wheat to distribute. In our countries it is the practice to distribute flour to the poor, as their welfare is more readily served by this. The amount given should accord with the poor person's requirements for the entire duration of Pesach. It is self-understood that if he is very poor and does not have the wherewithal to bake the matzah, one must give him also the costs of baking. This is classed as giving him sufficient for his need that he is lacking. 12 months. Whoever is residing in the town for a period of 12 months must contribute to this. 12 months. If we see that someone has entered the town intending to settle there, he is obliged from the outset to contribute to this. This criterion of 12 months is also applicable to the poor person. When he has resided in the town for this period, one is obliged to give him flour for Pesach, just as one must give it to the other poor of the town. If the poor person intends to settle there, they are obliged from the outset to give him flour for Pesach. The Achronim write in the name of the Smak that, in the case of all charities, it is now the practice, both with respect to the contributing householder and with respect to the poor person, to wait only 30 days before considering the person to be an inhabitant of the town. Even when a poor person has not resided there 30 days, we rule that although the inhabitants are not obliged to give him flour for the entire duration of Pesach at once, they are nevertheless obliged to give him matzah on Pesach, just as they are obliged to give him bread on any other day of the year. They are therefore obliged to give such a poor person each day sufficient food for 2 meals for every individual weekday that he stays in the town, and sufficient food for 3 meals for Shabbat, as stated in Yoredah, section 256. Everyone must contribute to this. This even applies to a Torah scholar who is exempt from tax. According to the Achronim, see the Pri Megadim. The amount that must be contributed must be assessed for each person in accordance with his possessions. Those who evade giving flour to the poor are guilty of iniquity. Now it is well known that the poor look forward to this flour, and if they will remain in pressing need and hungry because one ignores this, the rebuke of the Gemara stated in Sanhedrin, page 35a, will be applicable to him. What is stated there is common knowledge. On any fast day, etc. See the commentary of Rashi there. The circumstances in this case also correspond to those to which the Gemara relates there. Paragraph 2. One should not fall on his face in supplication at all during the entire month of Nisan. One should not say the verses... we'll look at the Mishnah Berurah remarks on that. During the entire month of Nisan, the reason is because on 12 of its days the 12 heads of the 12 tribes brought their offerings, and each day was a Yom Tov for the person who offered that day. In addition, Erev Pesach, the days of Pesach itself, and Yisro Chag are all holy days. Thus, most of the month is holiness, and therefore the entire month is treated as holy. One should not say the verses Tzidkatecha on Shabbat at the Mincha service. The verses Tzidkatecha during the month of Nisan, one should also not say the prayer Yehiratzon, which is said after the reading from the Torah. In addition, the prayer for the remembering of departed souls is said then, and the service justifying the judgment and the Kaddish after it are also not said. The rule is that the service justifying the judgment, the verses Tzidkatecha, and the supplication prayer Rachum V'Chanun have the same ruling in this respect. They are likewise not said on Erev Shabbat or on Erev Yom Tov after midday. However, on Erev Rosh Chodesh, that is, or Erev Chanukah, the service justifying the judgment is said after midday. It is desirable during the relevant days of Nisan to read each day the passage which describes the offering of the particular head who offered that day. On the 13th day, one should read the passage at the beginning of the portion Behalotzecha until the words Ken Asa Et HaMenorah, according to the Achronim.